Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. How's everybody doing today? Today we're gonna talk about discrimination, we're gonna talk about social justice, and then at the end we're gonna talk about a little bit of criminal justice in terms of how mental health will be impact on those title sector. So let's begin with a little bit of introduction. I think maybe in a couple weeks ago, I was thinking about talking about social justice, but there's some project I was working on, so I kind of prolonged it and postponed to that social justice topic. But today I feel like it's a good time to kind of mention it. But first of all, we need to talk about disability. Uh, we know what disability is: physical disability, mental health disability. There are tons of disability, but why we need to talk about disability? Because disability it will have a direct impact on social justice, on the people's growing out, how they will become, and also disability impact a person's mental health. So let's begin with disability. Is a definition of a difficult adjustment. So why we say difficult adjustment? Because this is something that people probably will not be able to make a correction and make adjustment on that. It can come with a birth. People can born with a disability. It can come with a traumatic event such as car accident or some type of mental health issue, and can come with getting older. There's a physical gradually decline, your physical decline due to the chronic disease or disorder. So when we talk about disability, this is a broad subject. You kind of have to expand disability a little bit more. It's a very serious spectrum, although it's nothing like autism, nothing like other things, but the disability is something that you cannot make correction on. So it can be very difficult when the person getting older, when the physical issue getting more drastically change, change day by day. It can be rapidly decline. So those are not something that medicine or any other things can be fixed. And disability can impact a person's thinking, mental health, and their way of thinking as well. So in biological factor, we're talking about, let's say, patient has a leg disability. The leg function get declined. On a later age, they will not be able to or provide some type of movement. It can be the heart disease. But when I talk about biological factor, I'm talking about um, directly impact if they have a leg issue, if they have heart disease, or they may have certain heart issue. They may develop hard to breathe. The heartbeat can be irregularly. They will be not able to do a lot of cardio due to the heart issue. But talking about leg, they may experience swelling, and that will definitely impact their mental health for sure, right? So from a psychological standpoint, they become depressed due to those kind of physical disability. And I'm not gonna talking about sudden disability, but I'm talking about person gradually become in disability, able to work, move by themselves, right? Everybody wanna be able to control their life, be able to, do whatever they want. But once they have a disability, no matter it's mental disability, physical disability, both kind of disability will directly impact on their daily life. So let's talk about how that link to depression. So when they have that impact on their daily life, regardless it's a biological factor or what, the depression will get worse. Okay, will direct impact on the self-esteem. They will have a self-worth. They will feel like they may don't want to leave. Will increase their time to become suicidal. There will be a suicidal ideation. They will have thinking about getting kill themselves. Right. Those are kind of depressed subject, but that can happen to a person. They may feel that they be unfair treated by other people because a regular, normal, healthy individual may discriminate in them. They don't like to hang out with them. They may have problem getting in touch with those people. Even with the, just talking briefly on the phone, that may create some kind of problem for them to do. because they don't want to deal with people who have depression, have mental issue, have disability whatsoever. So those are kind of serious things that the government or the people or social worker, whatever the person who's in that field, should be able to fill that gap and able to help those individuals who suffer from those type of disorder, depression, or disability. So they may become very sensitive. They may not be able to show compassion because due to their limited insight, limited ability to help this world to embrace themselves to the other area of their life. So this become creating a difficult challenge. They may feel loss of freedom. When I mean loss of freedom, means that they are not able to do what they want to do on a daily basis due to their depression. Okay, so let's talk about this discrimination. So there are some type of discrimination toward those type of people. When we talk about discrimination, we generally talk about unfair, unequal treatment to a certain person or to a group or to the race or to a religion, whatever you apply. But discrimination can go on and on. Okay, and there are certain type of discrimination. We're gonna talk about indirect discrimination. When we say indirect discrimination, literally speaking, is implied. So means that we can say if there's a certain policy are not favored to the certain group of people, and will have a negative impact on the certain due to the certain characteristic. For example, we will say a person who's trying to become a police officer, they will not meet those physical requirements due to their body weight. So or whatever that happened, so they will not be able to become a police officer. So this is an example of indirect discrimination. Of course, the impact of this type of discrimination will also include depression, anger, those anger or kind of they may develop some kind of outburst, emotional, unable to control the emotion due to a certain discrimination that can happen as well. And then we're going to talk about the next one will be systematic institutional discrimination. So when you're thinking about institutional, we're talking about refer to the discrimination taking place within a society or an institution. And those institutions can including educational system, can including religion, can including a certain type of group. So those are kind of that's why they say it's institutional discrimination. Okay, and the next one will be systematic discrimination. So when you talk about systematic discrimination, you're talking about is sometimes related to the law policy, and those are have impact on their mental health as well when people suffer from systematic institutional discrimination or systematic discrimination. And then that will kind of create a maintain a disadvantage to a group of people. And then they will be judging by the weather pattern behavior. So that's when we talk about systematic discrimination. You can talk about this way. And the next thing we're going to talk about will be poverty. So there's a reason that I'm trying to grab all those information together because they all interact with each other. Okay, they all have a connection with each other in terms of discrimination, in terms of a person have disability, mental, physical disability, and that also linked to the poverty too. People was really poor, and that the poor people definitely will not have a good mental health. Am I right? So when we talk about poverty, we talk about like there's a foundation. Okay, everything need to have certain type of foundation. So a person who's really poor, who's living under the poverty line, they don't deserve to have a certain foundation. Okay, they don't have a strong foundation to help themselves, and then they will develop a lot of social, economic, and health problem. Okay, and that will be facing by every poor individual because they don't have resource. Without all those resources, they don't have fund to take a transportation. They don't have a fund to getting housing. The housing will be blocking, and it will also become very difficult to buy healthy food. Healthy food is kind of important for them as well because without any healthy diet, without any healthy exercise, if you don't have the money, you will not be able to provide those basic necessities for themselves or for the other. So that kind of creating a poverty is like a circle. never-ending bad circle for those people that live under the property. And of course, at the end, we're gonna go talk about mental health. It's gonna have an impact on their mental instability. So they don't have a mental stability for sure. So let's talk about difficulty in buying healthy food, difficulty in access to the medical care, mental health, that creating kind of stress and also creating problem physical issue. Without exercise, there's no room, no time to doing a lot of exercise for themselves. So you can see this is like a chain reaction. They all come together. When you live under the property, you're not able to take care of yourself, you don't have fun, and then that linked to the transportation problem, linked to the housing issue, linked to the difficulty in finding the adequate food to eat, healthy food to eat, not unable to access to the medical care, mental health care, and that creates stress, depression, even they may have suicidal ideation occur. So you see, like I said before, this is a chain reaction. They all connect to each other. So this is something that we need to be pay attention on. And then, as I said, the channels focus on mental health, but the mental health need to be taken care of. They also need to be taking care of their physical and physical health and all that stuff need to be, you know, get into the one box and make sure that they will be taken care of. So this is gonna be a difficult subject to work on. So everybody need to, kind of need to work together to make it happen. And the children, let's talk about children. So when the children who live under the property, they will have a risk of getting illness for sure. Mood disorder, they will have an impaired function, impaired judgment when they grow up. They may develop PTSD. And also there's a research showing that the children who growing up in a poor environment, they will develop a lot of issue. They may go to become incarcerating at a jail. There's a rate of committing crime. All those things will be happen. Then they will require a lot of government assistance. And when they grow up, according to the research, they are prone to get more domestic violence, either to their partner or to their child. And then that linked to a very serious problem. They will not be able to maintain a family unit for that reason. Last thing I'm going to talk about today will be criminal justice system. So why I'm talking about this because criminal justice system also plays a very important role in the mental health. Okay, criminal justice system. A person who always involved in the criminal justice system, they are the person who incarcerated the individual. They are not able to totally not able to maintain their mental or emotional disorder when it comes to substance abuse. If they suffer from substance abuse, they will be kind of repeating offender in terms of that way in the criminal justice. And then so that's how the mental health is important. So if you are the clinician, if you are the social worker, if you are the behavioral case manager, if you are a behavioral, clinical case manager, you will need to be step in and help those individuals who suffer from criminal justice system to make sure that they are not going to re-incarceration inside going to the jail repeatedly. So the aim and the focus will be on preventing them to go there, providing the transitional support, transition support to the housing, to a stable environment, even to the new foster family. That will be kind of important. So, well, that's it. And I hope today's channel will be a good education information for you all. And then I will see you again next time. Bye bye.